Tim Pool, if you did not hear earlier today, was supposed to do a show in Nashville. I was looking forward to hearing how it went. I don't think it was going to be, streamed or anything like that, but he was going to do a show with John Rich, I believe, in Nashville. I'm not familiar with John Rich, but he was just on the show. It was a great episode. I mean, it's just weird saying great episode. Like every episode's great of Timcast IRL to me, but they were supposed to do a show and he had to cancel it. Why did Tim Pool have to cancel the show, you might say? He said bad news. Due to a credible threat, and we could call it an unlive threat against him, the show at Red Neck Riviera has been canceled. He said, I said F him, but I was warned other people could get hurt and we can't risk other people's safety. This is a risk versus reward situation. That's what life is. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing risk versus reward right now. The reward is I'm doing a monster, so I might still sound sleepy, but I'll be a little bit less sleepy. I've gone back and listened to my videos, and there's a little bit of difference. Maybe it's just mental, but that's a risk. And what's in this thing? Not good. But I'm doing a risk versus reward. And Tim Pool had a much more serious decision to make, and it was an obvious choice. This is one show. You got to make smart decisions, and Tim Pool did that. And he's a measured person, is the impression I get from watching him very often. He said the threat was compounded by intel suggesting an attempt was actually being made. I'm curious as to where that intel came from. I don't know what that means when he says intel. So somebody, I don't know if it's law enforcement, I don't know who. Intel is a strong statement. And I don't think it would come from him, obviously. So it had to come from somebody else. And I don't know who. So he followed up with that to say, hey, this is not just some on a whim type of stuff. It was a serious threat. I tweeted, the Overton window has shifted so wildly that a lefty skateboard dude with milquetoast political takes has his life threatened at public events because he doesn't bow to the woke mob. That's what's happening here. The Tim Pool, if you don't know, I listen to Tim Pool a lot, so I'm not going to be shifted off my opinion here. He is a lefty skateboard dude. Now, nobody is ever 100% on one side or another. Like on some things, you might think I'm a lefty. I'm for universal basic income. I am for that. You might say I'm a socialist on that issue, but on other issues, probably not. So nobody's one thing 100% of the time. But overall, he's a lefty. He would even admit that. He's a lefty libertarian. That's what he is. He's principled. He's extremely bright. This is not a normal dude. This is not a knock on Tim Pool. I'm a huge Tim Pool. You see super follower there. They were clowning me on Twitter because I had the super follower thing on there, man. I just want to, I don't do super chats for Tim. So I treat it like, okay, I'm just going to give him some money on, I already subscribed to his website, so I could just do more there, but that'd probably be better. But just doing a little bit on Twitter. But people clown me because I'm a super follower. No problem. I know it looks goofy. I'm a boomer. I don't care. I'm not really a boomer, but effectively I'm a boomer. So he's a lefty skateboard dude. And the Overton window, if you're not familiar, how would you describe the Overton window? Is like what I would say in layman terms, it would be, how do you describe if somebody's on the left or right of the political spectrum? That's where you're looking at. So you could say Tim Pool is a lefty skater dude who many people call him a Yahtzee and a right-wing nut job. Like, take a look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is somebody who said, if Michelle Obama runs, he said something to the effect of, I would like that, or I would vote for her, or something to that effect. He was bigging her up. He's the one they call a right-wing nut job. The window shifts so far left that the movie Aladdin triggers them. That is not a joke. That is for real. The Overton window shifts so far left. If you say maybe you shouldn't talk about sex to kindergartners, you are a bigot. That's the Overton window. So this dude right here is a lefty skateboard dude with milquetoast political takes. And that's not a diss, but he always, he's known to, well, I can look on this side, I can look on that side. I do the same thing. I'm not dissing him. But what I'm saying is he's not some he's not like some radical right-wing person who's just wild on all stuff. I mean, he's not like a Nick Fwentez, who I respect Nick Fwentez a lot, but he's not like that. And Nick Fwentez isn't even really that radical, to be honest with you. Bryson Gray is way more radical. Well, in a way, he's similar to Nick Fwentez, but I would say, but in certain topics, like the topic of LGBTQ, somebody like Bryson Gray is more radical. Oh, Tim Pool's nowhere near that. So somebody like that has his life threatened. Now, I don't know who threatened the life. Who's doing the swatting and all that. It could be an ex-girlfriend. And some people said it could be Tim Pool. Yeah, who knows? That doesn't make any sense, though. Do you really think he would risk his whole empire to do a death threat against himself? Stop it. So anything's possible, but that don't make any sense, that theory. So who knows what's doing it? But I have some other people to bring up, and they all have something in common. So excuse me if I am going under the assumption that it's a threat to silence him. All of the puzzle pieces around that one are filling in. So I kind of know what that piece looks like is what I'm trying to get at. I could be wrong. I'm not going to lie about that. Tim Pool talked about it on his live. He did about a 20-minute, it was 25 minutes on Twitter, but the music part of it was about 20 minutes where he was actually playing, little concert just to make up for it. He went to John Rich's house, which this dude, John Rich, is a baller. Got a house in Nashville overlooking the city. You'll see the view here. Pretty crazy. Has a stage in his house. But Tim Pool was explaining a little bit of what happened here.
I think there is a capo around here.
All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up.
We got a capo. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Take a look at Nashville, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out. They try to get us down. They try to stop the show, but we'll find a way. And, I was saying earlier that we were going to play out in Nashville downtown, but some real creepy stuff happened. We'll keep some of the details under wraps for security reasons, but basically there was some information that led people to believe, the authorities, that people had been preparing for something, which is it's new to me. But there was also some direct threats made, and as much as I can say, screw them, I'll go and do it anyway, nobody else wants to. Everybody else is really worried. So other people can get hurt. I can't put people at risk, but we'll play. We'll jam. We'll hang out.
So he's being the bigger man there, and I think he's playing a little bit of the political game of, I want to show some strength, and I have no problem with that, but he's making the right decision. Let me go through some comments just to acknowledge people, because I know people got to come in and go out. I hate kind of missing the vibe of what people are saying here. Rampart, thanks for stopping by, says Tim gets millions of views and is swinging voters away from the Democrats. He is one of many threats to the Dems. Yeah, and that makes me wonder. L, if you don't want to teach 5-year-olds about doing stuff, then you're a phobe is probably most accurate. Yep, you're a bigot at this point. Left libertarian is accurate to decide. Thank you for other people who listen to Tim might be able to critique my critique or description of him. Left libertarian is accurate to describe Tim. In my opinion, he only seems conservative because the Democrats are often left field clown town. Yep. And he's based in reality and truth. That is more than the left or right of the scale. That's where he's based. So when he invites people to a show, it's interesting that most of the people that don't have a problem having a debate or a discussion based in reality seem to be the non-bootlicking left. I will give Voss credit. He was on with Charlie Kirk. I will give Destiny credit. I'll give Jen Perlman credit. Kim Iverson credit. They are people who are not, right wing or, they're not exactly conservative or anything like that. Definitely not MAGA. But they have discussions based on truth. So they have no problem, no fear going on that show. Tells you a lot. Not many people on the left go on that show. Tells you a lot. Thanks for the comments. Rampart says CIA, FBI preparing for the midterms by having their fringe lunatics threaten critics of the Democrats. I'm seeing it. It's fair to ask these questions. I'm a musician. If I were given that kind of opportunity, almost nothing could stand in my way. But seriously, props to Tim. He certainly wasn't doing this to protect himself, only to protect others. I agree. And, Tim has other success. So that does play a role, obviously. If this gig was a big gig, like say this was him going on Rogan. When he went on Rogan with Jack and the lawyer, I forgot her name, that was a big moment. What if it happened on that type of thing? Would it be more worth the risk? And it was, say for example, Joe's like, nah, there's no problem. And he wouldn't feel like he was liable for anybody else. I think that's an interesting point. Nobody's special. Thank you. Bishop says self-censorship is real. That's why Elon needs to win. Yep, I'm going to bring Elon into this. Thank you, Bishop. You see exactly where I'm going with this. A crypto ape said correct because they're scared. Their narrative is crumbling before their eyes. They feel like they have to attack anyone or anything that disagrees with them, even slightly, to silence it. A wild animal backed into a corner is unpredictable, as are wild humans. Yeah, we're nothing more than animals. Somebody said, 5150 Midwest said, I bet it's someone the FBI was surveilling. And that came up with the New York subway. And basically almost anyone that has some type of domestic, type of terrorism type of thing. A lot of it comes up with the FBI. We had them on the watch. I also said Tim Pool has become a powerful force in our American Civil War. So I guess I can just forego all the algorithm friendliness because it's out the window. But we are in a civil war. It's not hot. Wars aren't always fought like that. Thankfully, this is informational. Bishop brought up Elon Musk. What do you think that is? That's literally war over information. It's literally war fighting over data, the algorithm, how Twitter's been run, what secrets are behind the curtain. That is a civil war move. And you see people in media, they're picking a side. There aren't too many people that are like, I'm kind of in the middle on this one. No, that's the Mason-Dixon line. He's not sold out to corporate interests. If you watch Tim Pool, he's talked about this openly. He has not sold out. So it's him, to my knowledge. I mean, nobody knows for sure, but he doesn't act like anybody's in his pocket because he'll go after anybody. You can tell like kind of who's financing someone by who they're afraid to go after. And he'll go after anybody. So I don't know if he's on the take from somebody, or somebody's not on the take, but somebody's financing him like a big money person. He's really good at hiding it. He has not sold out to corporate interests. I don't think he would sell out for $1 billion. And the reason why I say that, he would if he thinks he could flip that $1 billion into a bigger project. But let's just say, hypothetically, if somebody offered him $1 billion, and this is how it would go down. It's somehow, I don't know exactly how, but say somebody said, Tim Pool, I'll offer you a bill. But the bill is for you to get the hell out of the public eye and go skateboard somewhere. Don't do any videos. Don't do any culture. Don't talk politics. I don't want to see you again. I'll give you that bill. Go buy an island. Make the island a skateboard island. You could have Luke out there. You can even have, some of your people, that used to follow you out there. But you can't influence politics anymore. That's what this bill is about. Just hypothetically, he would say no. Absolutely. He's already successful. If he can't take the bill to flip it into bigger projects for stuff he believes in, I don't see him taking it. Just my opinion. So if you can't buy him out and you need to get rid of him and he's just too smart. It's like YouTube could ban him, but he got the website up and running pretty quickly to help fund his stuff. So losing YouTube would be a huge hit, probably. I'm just guessing. But he's got a backup. He could go to Rumble. He probably could get a deal to go to Rumble. You know, he's got options. So YouTube could ban him at any moment, but it would only hurt the website. It would create big news. It would upset a lot of people. Tim Pool wouldn't be that much damaged. He would just be kind of like Alex Jones. Alex Jones started up his band TV. That's basically what Tim Pool's trying to turn his website into a site where you could upload stuff and all that kind of decentralized. So banning him from YouTube at this point just ain't the play. And he's so smart. It's like, and he took down one of his recent. I was watching his lives, and I was like a half an hour late. And after the live ended, I hadn't even got to the super chats yet, and then my stream stopped. So something must have came up in that. I was an innocent live with what's her name from the Daily Wire. It was weird, but there's something they know, like, algorithm's gonna dock us. Like somebody said the word saltine. It was in the R.A. the Rugged Man one. He actually said the word, and Tim was like, nah, let me just take it down. So he's just too smart. You can't really get him there. So if you can't get him there, you can't buy him out. What are the next steps? They have openly talked about this on the show. It's surreal. The next steps are, I don't even want to talk about them. That's the next steps to get rid of them. Same goes with Rogan. Same goes with Jones. Same goes with any of them. Tim Pool's a little unique though, because I think he's a little bit different. I don't want to say he's better or anything. I think he's a little bit more savvy. If I had to put money on who would flip their position into a more powerful one, he would be my number one person right now. Maybe I'm missing somebody. He's just really knows how to navigate. He knows tech. He knows internet. Knows social media. Rogan. I was listening to Alex Jones Friday's episode, and he said Joe Rogan is ready. He's ready, already locked and loaded to do his own website if he gets banned from Spotify. He didn't say website, but his own outlet, whatever that looks like. I think it's probably a website, but Alex Jones said Joe Rogan's ready, locked, and loaded. So Tim Pool, though, already got the site up now. So I don't know if Joe Rogan, he would probably have to wait till the contract's over to do it. But what I'm saying is Tim Pool's ahead of the game and has a good vision and is looking at doing a social media. You see what's happening to Elon. All of this is about Twitter. Yeah, for those who thought Twitter was just some stupid website, you are eating crow right now. It's an all-out warfare over this thing. And it's not about the worth of the company. It's about the power of it. I still can't wrap my head around this. It's just, I did this way earlier in the day. I still can't wrap my head around this. The dude's bright, informed, but at the end of the day, his takes are not like, he'll say some crazy stuff like, but it's not really crazy if you listen to the show. But one of the crazy things people will say is, oh, he said private citizens should be able to have nukes. Well, that's not what he really means. What he's saying is the Second Amendment it says right to keep and bear arms. It doesn't distinguish which arms. So you might want to update the amendment if you don't think private citizens should own nukes, but I guess the judicial system kind of handles that. But that's his point with it. So people who don't watch him, they'll see a clip like that and they say, oh, he's crazy, and everybody's calling him right wing. So if you call somebody right wing nowadays, I actually want to hear what you have to say, to be honest with you, because it's just a code word for I'm not a bootlicker. So all these people hear that, and then they're like zombies, and they just go after him. It's really frustrating. It's insane. He has love for people on the left, the middle, the right, libertarians, and now he can't show up in a bar in Nashville and what it wasn't even like he was going to the bar in Nashville and there was a title to a speech like, I don't know, whatever triggers people, like traditional family values triggers people now. Literally, Alan West kind of triggered people with that. But it was him to play his old folk music on his guitar. think it's just him, Ian, and John Rich or whoever playing their folk music. Will of the People, that stuff. That's what. Can you believe that? He went to a bar to play folk music or alt rock, whatever you want to call it, but it's acoustic guitar. It's not even electric. At least the Twitter clip I saw. That's the one. That's the one that gets the unlife threats. Man, whoa. Nobody's safe, man. If that's what does it, nobody is safe. And the reason for him is because he's so influential, obviously.